Yo, what's up guys? It's your boy Elusive back again with another video, and before I get into the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 1,000 subs. Be here before 1,000. Like, help a brother out. If you guys are interested in like tips and tricks, how to get better, best class setups, and nuclear gameplay, like this is a channel for you. Stop playing. Subscribe. Alright, but now that that's over, as you guys can see, we're back on Black Ops Cold War, and in this video I am doing something I haven't done since the Stone Ages. I'm doing a best settings video, bro. I have not done this since, I don't know, Cold War released maybe, or a little bit after Cold War released, so it's been an extremely long time, bro. But yeah, I'm gonna be showing you guys my settings just in case I run into any of it that's off. I'm gonna let you guys know, because as I told you guys, I think like 2 weeks ago, my settings just kept resetting every time I logged in. They just reset. I fixed some, login, reset, fix them, and they just kept doing it over and over again. Like, if that happened to anyone else, this is how you fix it. You just go to your network and just disable your cloud saving settings, bro. So if that's happening to you, disable your cloud savings and it'll fix it. Alright, yeah, let's get into the settings. For the horizontal sensitivity, I'm running 7, and the vertical, I'm running 5. This, I used to run 6.5. Honestly, you can run either one of those. You shouldn't copy my settings anyways down to the T. I mean, the best way to do this is to set my settings up as a default if you plan on using them. So you know how when you first log into Cold War or any Call of Duty that's a brand new game, and your settings are like 4.4 and they're all like default? Use my settings as default and slightly adjust them when you need to for something that better suits you. So if you think 7's too fast, and lower it to 6. You feel 6 too fast, lower it to 5 if you have to. If you feel 7's too slow, go up 8. Just don't keep it exact same unless it's perfect for you. For the ADS sensitivity, for low zoom, I'm running 0.7. For high zoom, I'm running 0.9. Before, for low zoom, I was running 0.75, but that was before all my settings glitched and I had to redo them, so I kind of got used to 0.7, so that's why I stuck with it. But if you guys want to know how to get like smaller numbers like 0.71, 0.72, and stuff like that, just hit X on Xbox, and for PS4 should be square, and PC I do not know, so you're gonna have to figure that out by yourself. Just see the little select button at the bottom left of your screen. That's what you click just to go into more details on it. I'm running tactical because it comes in more clutch than stick and move. I used to run stick and move on BO4, but ever since Modern Warfare I went tactical, and I stuck with tactical because I felt like squat was more useful than jump. Honestly, it can help you get behind objects faster to where you're not instantly domed. It can help you drop shot as well, and squat shotting, which can also throw off target assist. So that's why I felt like tactical was just more useful than stick and move. All this I did not touch. The aim response curve, mine's on standard. I did run dynamic, but after my settings reset and I just got tired of constantly resetting them, I missed some of my settings that I forgot to change, so I kind of got used to standard. But honestly, the aim response curve, you can run any one you want, linear, standard, or dynamic. I was running dynamic, now I'm running standard. I might go back to dynamic, but you know, since the game's life cycle is about to end, I don't know. I might just keep standard. It doesn't really make a difference. Just depends on which one you like more. Vibrations, turn it off, bro. Honestly, vibrations can throw off your aim because your controller's vibrating while you're shooting. That's one. Two, it also kills your controller battery faster. It kind of has like no benefit really running. If you're used to vibrations, you can keep it on if you want, but I was used to vibrations. I turned it off and I kind of got used to no vibration pretty quickly. Course have target assist. My aim assist mode is legacy. Honestly, I just been running legacy for a while. You could also run standard. It was just the best suited for me. You could just run whatever you'd like. It just depends on what best suits you. All this I did not touch. Alright, starting here, threshold. I went low enough to where I could slightly move my analog to where I'll still move, but not too low to where I start getting stick drift. So that's why I went with 10 and 13. For the right stick, which honestly this was more from my old controller because I had slight stick drift on it, but since I got my Series X and I have a new controller, I might slightly adjust the threshold. You can keep shifting it down to the point where it's fast but doesn't give you stick drift. For the trigger dead zones, this is how much pressure you have to put down on your trigger before you aim in. I went with 0.3 because I felt like having it 0.0, well, just having it 0 was just too much, because sometimes I'll accidentally like slightly touch it and I'll aim in way too early and it'll literally aim in at an enemy way behind them or way in front of them or where they used to be. So that's why I had a little bit to where I have to put down a little bit more pressure to where I can actually aim it at where I want it to aim rather than just aiming in by accident. So that's why I went with not all the way down below enough to where I can click it barely and it'll aim in. I want to prioritize reload so I can, if I ever get into like a fight and I run out of ammo, I can just click X and pick up another weapon rather than hold X, because that can get you killed. But honestly, it doesn't really make a difference. Maybe Warzone this is the best for, but multiplayer, you can just go with regular tap reload, or you can go with prioritize reload. It's just up to you. If you play both, then you can play with prioritized reload, so you can get used to it and it doesn't throw you off with holding to pick up or holding to reload and stuff like that. So it's up to you if you play Warzone and multiplayer on Cold War, or just multiplayer in general. You can go with prioritized reload, or you could just stick with tap reload. It's up to you. For graphics, I was running a colorblind mode so I can see enemies better, or their names, colors that stand out more. I forgot my settings reset. But before, my enemies were yellow. Because yellow is such a bright color, it stood out more. That's why I chose yellow as enemies. And I chose partners as like a baby blue or like a green. But honestly, you could adjust it to whatever color you like that stands out the most to you, so you can see enemies better. I'm running a 108 field of view. I felt like 120 was a little bit too much for me, so that's why I went with like 108, to where it's zoomed out enough but not zoomed out all the way. But it's up to you. You can run 120, 110, 108, 105. It's all up to you. Honestly, you shouldn't go anything under 100. 100 should be the minimum. Honestly, maybe 102 should be the minimum. My field of view is affected, and motion blur, turn it off. Honestly, nobody has time to be looking like they've been spinning in circles to where they become literally blind to where they can't see nothing. Turn motion blur off. I run affected because I kind of got used to it, and the affected keeps it to where whatever your field of view is on when you aim in, that's how zoomed out it is. If you have independent on, it zooms in more, but it kind of like shuts off your field of view to where you're more focused in on where you're aiming. But me, I'd like affected so I can see my surroundings still while I'm aiming, and I'm not zoomed in on where I'm aiming in at and getting shot from the side because I couldn't see them. So that's why I run affected. Alright, going to the audio. You don't have to copy mine down to the T. For the master volume, you could go to 100. Sound effects, you can go to 100. Dialogue, I say keep it here. And the cinematics, you can keep it here or go to 100. The reason I say have the dialogue below everything else, I don't think the dialogue should be as high as the game volume, because sometimes if they call out extremely loud, you might not be able to hear footsteps, or it might throw you off. So that's why I have dialogue usually below my master volume, which honestly, I should probably just boost it up to 90. And dialogue to maybe 80, because I want it high enough to where I can hear, and the game volume isn't completely just destroying the dialogue to where I can't hear like a hostile gunship or choppers in or something like that. So you want it high enough to where you can hear, but not too high to where it's over the game volume and you can't hear footsteps. So that's why I usually run something like this. Alright, for the audio, high boost, best, hear footsteps the best, and everything like that. I actually just changed it to high boost. I forgot to do that because my settings reset, as I mentioned before. High boost, best. Just stick with that. Voice chat, none of this really matters. Now, this right here can matter if you're a content creator. So say if you play on PC and you bought the Elgato 4K or HD, doesn't matter, whatever one that's actually inside your PC, the internal one, and you want to have people's voices in it, like game chat voices, have this on speaker, bruh. When I first bought this, the 4K Mark II, I didn't know how to make it to where game chat volume, like people talking game chat, can be recorded. It wasn't like the old one where you plugged in that double-sided adapter cord. I forgot what it was called. Where is it actually? I still have it. This. It wasn't like the old Elgato to where you use this to hear game volume or people in game chat. It's the Elgato chat link cable, I believe that's what it's called. That you would have to run before to where you can hear people's game chat. But since you got the internal one and it doesn't have that, so people that just buy the internal one might not know how to get people's voices in game chat to record on their Elgato. This is how you do it. Change it to speakers, because it spawns in on headset. If you have it on headset, it's not going to capture anyone's volume or anyone talking in game chat. You're going to want it on speakers. Alright, so that's the end of audio. Interface, didn't touch anything over here, I believe. And yeah, that looks like that's all of my settings. Yep, that's all of the settings. But yeah, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new. Don't forget to slap on the post notifications so you miss the latest and greatest videos. And I'll see you later, guys. Peace.